HAA models in decision making. We all make decisions often. The nature of the decision would vary based on the context. A decision to buy an item online is very different from a decision to install an app on the phone. And the decision to react to an alarm on an industrial system is totally different from these two. However, all the decisions can be said to have impacts. Mostly the impacts could affect only the decision maker, or it could impact a physical system such as a machinery. It could also impact invisible systems such as financial or business context. The role of technology in decision making has been increasing, and it has been increasing in exponential factor. Technology allows the decision maker to connect to other resources. It enables the decision maker to get more resources and more information. It enables increased information integration. However, the technology stack is a machinery made by humans. It also opens up questions like, does it give the right information in the right way? Standard descriptive models exist for decision making. A very high-level model can be said to have choices, information about the choices, then a decision has to be made. The decision has a temporal aspect to it. Once the decision is taken, a question is raised as to whether the decision was right. A designer should trace back this route for designing a decision artifact. The question flows downstream. When we raise a question as to whether the decision was right, it drills down to the fact that whether the choices provided were right, whether the information presented was sufficient and relevant, and then was the user able to make the right choice out of it. Based on the general model, a specific descriptive model for HCA decision making can be done. This model is basically for a simple decision making context. There are a set of choices, and there is a medium that allows the choice to be conveyed to the user. Mediums could be non-visual and non-traditional mediums. For example, haptic systems, audio alarms could also be mediums. In general, the mediums convey the information about the choices. They provide context to the choices, such as criticality and applicable context, etc. The medium could also show the impacts of the choices that is provided, and the medium would also expose actions for the decision maker. These components has to be designed to adapt to the perceptual capabilities of the user. The user in turn can make actions on the system. These actions would create impacts. The impacts could affect the user himself, or the impacts could affect systems, or it could create more loops and feedbacks. This is a basic model. This model can be networked to create more complicated interactions such as collaboration, complex systems, and loops and feedbacks in the decision making. I'm presenting a small use case where a designer would be applying a model to decide a decision dilemma. The challenge the designer has is an operating scenario in an industrial context. In the scenario, there is a device. It's a handheld device which has visual, haptic, and audio feedbacks. Operator picks up the device and he would walk around in places with some cabinets. and he would operate the handle in a pervasive environment. Obviously, the operator has no visibility to the screen. During the operation, the operator has a decision to make. The decision is pretty simple. It's very basic. Upon meeting a condition, the operator has to stop his operation. Now, the designer has a dilemma. The designer could give the feedback as an audio feedback, or haptic, or perhaps both. Now, this is a decision-making situation which involves a choice to be given to the operator. And the question here is, how does the designer approach to the situation to design it properly? Now, this is a network model. The network model provides different components of the actants. The device is composed of screen, audio, and haptic. This operating user, and there would be other users in the system, in the place where this operation is being carried out. Now, of course, it's a work area, and there would be other noise or other audio generating sources in the same area. Now, a designer, before deciding what to do in this situation, would create a network model and analyze how it impacts. From this network model, you can see that an audio source from the device would impact the operating user, it would impact the other users, and it would even impact the entire work area. So it becomes very obvious that using an audio source in this case is going to be a cognitive dissonance not just for the user, but for the entire situation. While using the haptic feedback is personal and one-to-one with the operating user. So this is not a very complicated, sophisticated decision-making design dilemma. But this is a very basic design dilemma in the decision-making process, but it provides a window as to how you could use a model to make decisions of the right design artifacts. It not only provides a model to make the design decisions, but it also provides a framework for the designer to validate and to present his design decisions. References for this work comes from Chapter 7 in Wickens' book for Introduction to Human Factors Engineering, and references also include a paper by Hassan, York University, titled Improving Dynamic Decision Making Through HCA Principles. Thank you.